A great all-around beginner bike for a person, because it seems like it has everything that a beginner would need to help them become a better rider. We're here in Oceanside, California. That's my good buddy Jason. He is not Johnny Lieberman.
Totally not Johnny Lieberman.
No, he's with Ride Apart. And we've got these beautiful Yamaha R3s that we're about to hop on and give our first ride review of these bikes. I'm excited to ride this white one here. So looking forward to it. I love these small bikes, entry-level machines that'll be great for people just learning how to ride, and even people like me that want to hone in their track skills. So we're going to ride it today, and then hopefully me and my good buddy Adam Wahid will be able to do some cool stuff on these bikes at Chuckwalla Valley Raceway or another track coming soon. But today, it's all about riding on the beautiful streets of Oceanside, California. Alrighty then, rain gear is on, kickstand up, bike's turned on, and here we go. The press launch for the awesome Yamaha R3. Ryan Filippolo there. Oh, already doing wheelies and stuff. That's how you know this is going to be a fun ride as we leave the underground garage here. Well, first thing I can tell you, the bike is comfortable. Even for my 6'3", 225-pound carcass that's atop this motorcycle, it's comfortable. And that's a good thing. All right. As you can see, it's a little damp out here in Southern California, which is unusual, except that usually when I attend these press launches, I bring the bad weather from filthy Cleveland along with me. And cruising on the California highways here in the bike is pretty nice at cruising speeds. It even has a gear indicator, which is nice for an entry-level motorcycle, and it has a shift light, which I thought was a pretty nice premium touch for this bike. So this would be a great all-around beginner bike for a person, because it seems like it has everything that a beginner would need to help them become a better rider. Highway cruising, you can get some good fuel economy on this motorcycle. 6th gear is very tall. At 70 miles an hour, it's hovering at around 7,500 or 7,000 RPM, which is great. That means it's basically sipping fuel. But it seems like this bike has just the proper amount of power to allow you to keep yourself out of trouble and keep up with the flow of traffic on the highway, but also not too much power to get you in smackdown type trouble for excessive speed. So the rain has backed off momentarily, so I can talk to you a little bit about how this bike behaves on these awesome canyon roads. And I tell you, again, I can't believe how much more comfortable this bike is compared to my R1M. Now, I realize the R1M was designed as a track bike, and then at the end of the day, it was also made for the street as well. But this bike seems like it was made for commuting and for first-time riders. And it's very comfortable for riding. I've been riding it now for about 45 minutes, and I don't have the typical feelings of discomfort that I would have on a larger super sport motorcycle. But the switchback that this bike delivers, I mean, because it's so light, it's so flickable and easy to maneuver, and I think that's really great. Cruising these canyon roads in third gear, it seems to be what this bike likes for this type of riding, at least at speeds lower than 50 miles an hour, because it's giving me just enough power to drive out of a corner. Oh, well, look at that. And without being at the top of the rev limit there. Even though these roads are a little damp, this little R3 is holding its own. Very nice. Very easy to move around on the bike from corner to corner. Hey, horsies! Oh, those are cows. Yeah. And the R3 loves canyon roads, and I'm sure it's going to be a great trek bike once I'm able to put it out there and see what it does. The comfort level on the bike and the way that it switches from side to side, super cool, super easy to do. And it's a lot of fun too, just riding the thing. The single disc brake up front works nicely too. Can bring the bike to a halt pretty quickly. The instrument gauges are really nice. They're LCD, and the gauges have pretty much everything you would need. Gear indicator prominently placed on the left-hand side. Speedometer, big and bold letter writing. And then a fuel gauge, which is pretty nice. Digital fuel gauge and a digital temperature reading. Essential stuff for a beginner and even for a track bike as well. Great for a person commuting too. So our first stop is the Julian Pie Company. Supposedly some of the best pies in the United States. We'll see about that. R3. Goodbye, Julian Pie Company. As one of your former governors once said, I'll be back. Well, I removed my rain gear, and hopefully it will stay dry for the rest of the day, but it is photo shoot time. And the California Highway Patrol has the road blocked off, and we're going to do some video and photo shooting. But what I can tell you about this bike so far, now that it's dry and we cleaned it up a little bit, it's a nice bike. I like how the low beams, both sides of the LED headlights are on, and it also has a flash to pass button, which is really nice. The tail lights are nice as well. There's a dedicated brake light, and then we have lights that are on for the running lights. Pretty cool. Somewhat of a premium touch. Of course, we still have, and I know this is going to be mentioned in the comments, we still have the super big teardrop incandescent turn signals installed on the bike, but as you guys know, those can come off rather easily and be replaced by LED components. Hopefully these photos will turn out nice of me cruising down a canyon road on the beautiful R3. Come a little closer. You can see that my legs fit in very nicely with the awesome newly restyled fuel tank, which is a lot lower than on the 2018 model. And now we're doing video stuff. They say they like me to go up a little bit and then fall back and do that a few times, but thank goodness they have this road blocked off so that the video forerunner is able to occupy the other lane. I don't know if this is a motorcycle review or an episode of Dangerous Jobs for the person responsible for the video. I think that's it. Now we turn around and we do it again. And here we are at the launch spot, Lake Hinshaw Resort. Video session and photo session just a moment ago, and now we're headed back to the hotel after a fun-filled day of riding the Yamaha R3. We've dodged the rain. I had on a rain suit. I took it off. I put it back on at some point. I took it back off, and now it's sprinkling a little bit, so hopefully we won't get a torrential downpour. But the scenery here is outstanding near Oceanside, California. As we try to use these roads to the best of our ability, even though they're slightly slick, if that's a word. But I'm still able to get a feel for this R3, and I love it. The bike is super comfortable. It's very flickable, very predictable, very easy to manage, outstanding fuel economy. It's excellent on the highways. Excellent instrumentation, gear indicator, fuel indication, big and bold speedometer. I really haven't found anything wrong with this bike so far besides the hideous stock Yamaha-esque turn signals. Incandescent, look like giant dinosaur teardrops. But aside from that, and those are easily replaceable, not a big deal. Very cool bike. I'm definitely looking at maybe purchasing one for myself to ride on the track, hone some skills. You know, it's a great bike. You don't really have to worry about too much abusing it on the track, transporting it around the track days and stuff like that. It's a great commuting bike, and it looks great too. That's one thing that I haven't really talked about today, is the styling of the bike. The complete redesign here for 2018. Hats off to Yamaha for what they did, because the bike looks great. The LED headlights, both sides of the lights are on for the low beam. I love that. The high beam is pretty cool too. It has a flash to pass button. It has an independent brake light, as well as a solid fixed light that's on when the bike's running for the tail light. So I think that's outstanding. It's definitely somewhat of a premium touch to this motorcycle, which for an entry-level bike like this, that's pretty outstanding. Thank you, Mr. BMW. Love ya for getting the heck out of the way so we can enjoy these slightly saturated roads. So yeah, definitely a home run for Yamaha. So they basically redesigned their entire R lineup. The R1 had a nice refresh for 2018. It saw auto blipper and The M got a new Moulins. Suspension, that was great. The R6 was all new for 2017. We know that. That was a complete success. And now this, for 2019. A redesigned R3, just what the doctor ordered, eh? Very pleased with this motorcycle. So, we're going to wait for the rest of the guys to catch up. Me and my good buddy here from Yamaha, we like to ride like beasts in beast mode. Adam Wahid taught me that. He'd somehow be popping wheelies on this bike, even though it doesn't have a lot of power. He'd do clutch power wheelies or whatever. There's that teardrop turn signal again. Dinosaur teardrop, huge. Yeah, I love it. Well, we gotta wait, man. Let's just go.
Gotta be a team player.
Team player, all right. Fair enough. I'll turn my bike off. Might as well. It's going to take forever. It is what it is. I'm a pupil of Adam Wahid. So one thing I want to have to learn about this bike when I take it to the track is you definitely want to select the proper gear so that you always have great power on tap. Because as you just saw, if someone, even on a comparable motorcycle, takes off and you're in the wrong gear, you're going to be left behind. And playing catch up on a bike like this is very difficult. But, you know, that's part of the fun. You know, this is an entry-level motorcycle. It's meant for people to cut their teeth, gain an interest in motorcycles. And then they can upgrade to something else. I'd suggest if a person purchases this bike to learn it and then keep it. Turn it into a track bike. A very inexpensive track bike. And something that if you went sailing down the track, you wouldn't cry your bloody mind out like I would if one of my premium super bikes had an agricultural track experience. So finally, at the end of the day, we've got some great California type weather after this huge storm system that lurked over Southern California for the last week. Seems like it's making its way away just in time for me to get back on the plane and head back to filthy Cleveland and the horrible weather that we have there. Really enjoyed riding the Yamaha R3 today. It's an outstanding motorcycle. And if you're new to my channel, hit that subscribe button. If you're already a subscriber, tap the bell here so you can be notified when I upload new content. But such an amazing motorcycle. Really privileged to be able to ride this bike today. Yamaha did an outstanding job on the 2019 Yamaha R3. I'm very happy with this motorcycle. Looking forward to riding it more on the track and just playing around with this bike some more. It's a great bike.